Each week, we bring you the exclusive avalanche safety report with our partners at the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, so you know exactly what to expect before venturing into the backcountry. Let's take a look at this week's update. Welcome to our weekly Colorado Avalanche Report. Hope everyone enjoyed a great Thanksgiving holiday. Joining me again here to give us the latest conditions and current weather is Brian Lazar. He is the Deputy Director of the Colorado Avalanche Information Center. Brian, great to have you. Hope you had a nice holiday.
I did. I hope everyone out there had a great Thanksgiving as well and is looking forward to the holiday weekend.
Welcome. Yeah. So, as we go further into the winter season, what conditions are we looking at currently throughout the summit, around Aspen, and other areas where avalanche conditions could be prominent?
Yeah, we're getting in, like late fall. December's quickly approaching. It's been a pretty dry period. And if we take a look at our homepage map here, that kind of sets the story for how avalanche hazard or danger is varying
Mhm.
across the state. You can see these yellow areas up in the north, and those are areas that have moderate or level 2 out of 5 avalanche danger. And those are the most worrisome areas right now. And I'll show you why in just a little bit. The rest of the state of Colorado is in green or low danger, which means generally safe avalanche conditions. That means most slopes are safe from avalanches, but it doesn't mean avalanches are impossible. This is going to be the condition as we move into the weekend. In the absence of new snow, avalanche danger is slowly easing, but the thing that's driving the avalanche danger in those moderate areas is likely to stay with us into early next week.
So the graph that you pulled up here, can you explain this to our viewers and how those different depths of snow impact possible avalanche happening?
Yeah, and this is really the story, and it's the distinction between the areas with low danger and generally safe avalanche conditions and those areas with moderate danger. The structure is actually somewhat similar. We have this top layer of snow, which is our slab. This is the cohesive piece of snow, which is sitting on this weak snow, this soft faceted snow, which are really weak grains of snow, unable to support much on top of them. And so, in areas where this overlying cohesive slab is stiffer, are the areas where we can trigger avalanches. And so, then this video explains the difference. Here is a video of some field work that we conducted just over the last several days that shows an area where the overlying slab is really stiff and really slow to weaken. And in areas that have this snowpack structure, is where we're going to find the moderate avalanche danger.
Hey, this is Dylan with the Colorado Avalanche Information Center. We're up here on an east-southeast facing slope above the tree line near Mount Baldy, just outside of the Snowmass ski area. And we targeted this slope specifically to account for the shift to a more northerly wind direction. And now these east and southeast facing slopes are getting a little loaded. And so we still have a persistent weak layer a little bit underneath this stiff, hard slab that's been getting loaded for the past few storms. And so this is kind of one of the only areas where you really can still trigger an avalanche, where we have this weak layer underneath a hard slab. So why don't we do a snowpack test and see what happens. So you can see we got a propagating result on that persistent weak layer below the slab. And this is really just emphasizing the point that this is one of the only areas where you can trigger an avalanche on a wind-loaded slope, where you can get this whole slab to slide on a layer of near-surface facets that formed right before our November 2nd to 4th storm.
So here's some examples from the last several days, which really show how these wind drifted slopes are most problematic. You can see obvious signs of wind loading, in this case, a small wind lip or a cornice that's beginning to develop, and you're able to trigger that top layer on the weak snow underneath. Here's another one that took place near Berthoud Pass, and you can see in this case, the avalanche broke into the weak snow near the ground and went all the way down to the ground and even took some dirt with it.
Can you explain to viewers some of the consistent problems with the different levels there when it comes to the avalanches and how one kind of triggers another depending on where you're at and what the snow levels are?
Yeah, so we have different kinds of avalanches, and those need to be treated slightly differently when you're out traveling around in the backcountry. In the areas with moderate danger, we have a persistent slab avalanche problem, and those are indicative of all the photos that we just went through. These are those avalanches that are breaking on that weak snow near the ground. That's just called a persistent weak layer because it sticks around and lasts for a long time. So again, we're highlighting these high elevation north, northeast, and east facing slopes. And in those areas, you may get avalanches big enough to bury or kill a person. In areas that have gotten less recent snowfall, the snowpack is actually weakening from the top down to a point where the slab itself has now just become cohesionless snow. And we may have enough cohesionless snow at the snow surface to get a different kind of avalanche, in this case, loose, dry avalanche or sloughing in very steep northerly facing terrain. And so we can expect, avalanche danger to continue to slowly ease as we move into the early part of the next work week. And things won't really change until about next Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's when we got our eyes on our next storm, which hopefully produces a bit more snowfall.
Interesting. Well, again, thank you for joining us. It's always great to see you, and hopefully you stay out of all the chaos at the post-Thanksgiving holiday this weekend. Brian, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You can always contribute reports and stay up to date with the latest forecast at colorado.gov/avalanche. Enjoy the backcountry and be safe out there.